Hello, good people. How's everyone doing? I trust that everyone is doing well, having themselves a good weekend. Um, Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Bridges, and we are here to discuss tips from my financial investing journey. And with that being said, um, all is well with me. Glad to be here amongst the land of the living. And I'm gonna try to be brief on today. I always say that, and usually end up not being brief. So here we go. My subject on today. I had a very interesting week. Met a lot of people, as I always do in my walks of life. Had some pretty good conversations and some talking points I would like to discuss. But that's not what's on my mind at the moment. What's on my mind? I came up with this a couple of days ago. Probably was in my feelings, but anyway. So, what was on my mind was what I want to talk about is what can I do for you, right? What can I do for you? So, when I had my thoughts, um, I thought about many things, and when I say in my feelings, I've been doing this for this YouTube channel for over a year, right? And I've gotten over. I started my financial journey outside of my 401k in, excuse me, March of 2020, right around the time when COVID kicked off, right? Stock market always interests me, and I dabbled in it a time or two, but I never really made up my mind to get serious about it outside of my 401k, right? So, when I started, um, things really took out for me. I was having an awesome time learning. I was having an awesome time growing. Having an awesome time watching money grow. Never knew money could work like that before, prior to getting serious about it, at least trying this thing, see how it works. So, with that being said, um, so I started with Robinhood, right? I already had Ameritrade that it was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and all I had in that Ameritrade was like I had purchased like 2 shares of Apple based on a word of a friend that I work with, and really hadn't. It may have been more than 3 years old at the time. All I know is I didn't tap back into it to probably about the end of 20. I said, well, let's see what's going on with it. I see what I'm doing with Robinhood. Let me see, maybe I can reawaken my interest in Ameritrade. So when I pulled it up, I had more than what I had purchased because Apple had did a stock split, right? Which was a great thing for me. I think they had did probably two, so it probably was older than that. They probably had did two splits because all I purchased was two, and at the time I had like 10, 12, something like that. So where am I going with this story? So started with Robinhood. The first free stock they gave me was Walmart, which was impressive to me at the time, right? Gave me $109 stock for free. And from there, I started getting more and more free stock. I think that first year I had quite a bit of free stock. What happened was, as I say, I meet a lot of people week in, week out, right? In my walks of life, I meet a lot of people. And I was sharing my developing passion for investing, right? And I was telling everybody, get Robinhood and try your try your shot, right? So I was sending everybody invites, right? People I was meeting, I would get their phone number, send them an invite, send them a few tips or what have you. So I said that to say, Robinhood had a lot of promotions going on, and I was just getting all kind of free stock. Fast forward from then to now. So in that, since 2020 to 2024, I've gotten over 400 plus people into the game of investing, right? I call it the game, just the term, what I classify it as. And as I've said before, some games are serious, some games are not. Hey, it's a serious game. You can turn your life around, build some financial wealth. So, And in spite of having done that in that time, I used to send people tips and what have you on a regular basis. I ended up having a ton of group chats dropping information for the people that I had brought into the game, right? Excuse me. And so got around to starting the YouTube channel. And so I sent chat out to the group. And at that time I had like double-digit number of groups. And I would just draft a message and copy and paste it into all the different groups, right? But still, it was taking a lot of time. So I dropped to everybody in all the groups, hey, I'm no longer going to be able to have time to drop tips here, but I started a YouTube channel. You can follow me there. And as I pull up my YouTube channel, well over a year old, as of this moment, I have 106 videos and I have 64 subscribers out of getting 400 people in the game. So yeah, I was in my feelings when I decided to make this video, what can I do for you? So where am I going with what can I do for you? I am not the smartest person in the world. I don't know everything, you know. I don't know everything about the stock market. I don't know everything there is to know about stock picking. But what I do know is I know how to grow a portfolio, you know. I know how to establish strong positions. I know how to understand trends in the market. I know how to identify trends in the market. I know how to research a little. I know how to identify good buy-ins. I know how to identify a good exit strategy. And the list goes on and on and on. Things of what I could do for someone who's watching me, following me on YouTube, right? And that's the value I bring to the table. So my mentors that I follow, I constantly talk about my mentors. To me, that's advising valuable resources that you can use to expand, to grow your financial knowledge, right? And I keep ear to the ground in the world of finances. I keep an ear to the ground of things that's going on in the political arena that could drive movement in the stock or could beat down movement in the stock or what have you. And I'm constantly sharing these tips, these nuggets, this info right here on my channel, right? And so I have a few views, just a few. Of course, I do my Facebook Reels, and I do my TikTok. And so my TikTok has a decent little following, right? Nothing to brag about, but it's way better than my YouTube amount of subscribers. So what can I do for you? I can help you make money in the market, bottom line, right? I can help you grow your financial knowledge or better understand the market. I can give you tips, and I could give you valuable information that could help spur or spark or encourage your ability to make money in the stock market. That's just a little of what I can do for you. So we're gonna move on. I'm not gonna ride a dead horse to death or beat the hammer to beat the nail to death, right? I'm gonna let it go. There's a lot of great things going on in the market, both stock and crypto. You would have to be living under a rock if you're in the market and you don't know what's going on with NVIDIA, right? You would have to be living up under a rock if you're in the market and you don't have a clue of what's going on with Chipotle, right? If you're watching YouTube at all and you see the shorts that constantly, you know, as you're scrolling through, you'll see shorts, and if you click on some of them, you know, you scroll, you'll see more and more. And there are quite a few people talking about NVIDIA and what NVIDIA can do and how it can make you a ton of money, how it can make you a millionaire, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's amazing how NVIDIA ran in like just under 2 years, it ran from just under 200 to 1,300 a share. Did a split, 10-for-1 split. That lowered the price, gave you even better buying opportunity, and it's expected to double or triple within the next year or two. Some people saying it could double by the end of this year, or it could hit 200 by the end of this year, pretty close to doubling. But that's remarkable for stocks. So that's just a tip, for food for knowledge, right? The nugget. Who was that? Chipotle. Chipotle stock had ran up a little over 3K a share, and I have been following Chipotle stock since my journey in March of 2020. I used to constantly watch it a week or two out of a month be in the top 10 performers, daily top 10 performers. And I'm like, Chipotle, really? So did a little bit of research on it. Not a lot, did a little bit of research on it, and personally I was impressed with it. And I said, well, I can't afford it at that point. If I wanted to, it didn't matter. I couldn't afford it, right? I said, I'll just watch it. I'm sure it'll come back down. It's just Chipotle. Never came down. And then when I could afford it, it was not the hottest stock on my radar. I had what I would recommend to anybody. You should always be watching the overall market, taking note of what things are doing well, what things are not doing well. Most brokerage account will show you somewhere, if you know how to maneuver the brokerage account, you could click on a tab and it'll show you the top 10 performers for that day. It'll show you the top 10 gainers of that day. And that's a good thing to have. That's a good gauge to be aware of, a good barometer to be aware of. And if you constantly watch that, top 10 gainers, top 10 losers, week over week is 4 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year. And you watch that thing for a month in and month out, and year in and year out, then you'll have a pretty good idea of the top performing stocks, right? A good idea of bottom performing stocks, right? And then you could see how many months out of year do certain stocks perform exceptionally well. Do any of those stocks perform a number of weeks out of a year, flip from top performer to bottom loser, or flip from bottom loser to top performer? Why is that good to know? We're in the business of making money. I personally am not married to any stock or any crypto. I have a long-term portfolio and I have my 401k. So both those are long-term things that I guess I'm more or less married to, right? But, in my two favorite portfolios that I'm constantly growing and building, almost anything in there is up for grab if it runs up high enough, right? Probably would not sell a whole position. That's why I build good, strong positions. When I say good, strong positions, that's according to my pockets, according to my budget, according to my portfolio. So a good, strong position to me is double digits. Double digits, and a really strong position would be triple digits, where it's moved from tens of increments of tens to increments of 100 or higher. That's triple digits. So 10 is a decent position, 20 is a stronger position, and then if I get to 50, I'm pretty happy with that position based upon how much that stock actually costs. If you get something really low and you can't build it to triple digits, why are you holding on to it? That's just my thoughts. But in the game of investing, in the game of the stock market, the things that cause your portfolio to grow the most, the thing that nets you the best returns, the best gains, the biggest gains, the biggest returns. You got to identify a stock or crypto when it's at a great price to buy in, right? And you have to be able to do some research and identify that it has great room for growth. And then you have to aggressively build the position. Because if you have one and it goes up $200, nice profit. But if you don't have more than one, you're limiting your ability to succeed or your ability to build great gains, great returns. So the name of the game is in investing is always what? Buy low, sell high. If you buy something high, then nothing goes up forever. Eventually it has to come down. So if you buy it at the top, the only place it's going from the top 9 times out of 10 is down. Then you can always learn how to grow your chart reading ability, being able to understand what is a RSI in your. Anyway, we're not going there. I don't even talk that much about. I don't really talk about charts. Talk about it a little bit, but I do know a little bit about charts. I just don't feel comfortable with my knowledge to be able to really teach somebody how to understand the charts. But I can teach you the value of understanding the charts. And as one of my mentors, Keenan Grace, he loves to say, trade with the charts and not with your hearts. Well, sometimes I trade with the charts. Don't really trade with my heart. I trade with my own. Some things, in my opinion, you don't need a chart for. You need to have the knowledge thereof. I mean, Amazon. If you can't understand what Amazon is and what Amazon does and what Amazon provides that mankind wants and needs, shame on you. Then once you understand that it's in high demand, then it's all about understanding what's a good buy-in window. Then you build you a good strong position, and when it takes off like crazy, it's nothing wrong with taking some profit, right? Selling a portion of your position, whether you're selling a quarter, it depends on how big your position is. You can sell some, you can leave it in your portfolio. Somebody say, but I'm gonna have to pay taxes on it. You can't make money and not pay taxes in the world that we live in, so of course. But taxes are not due to the following year. Let your money work for you, build you a nice strong position, and when it's time to pay your taxes, then it's time to sell a portion of different positions, satisfy your taxes. But if you're up, as my friend Larry Jones likes to say, bigly, if you're a bigly, if you put, in a year, you put, let's say, 5,000 to work and your portfolio is up 16, 18, 20,000, then that 5,000 netted you 15K return. Then if you got to pay your taxes out of that, I think I'd be okay paying my taxes out for a 15K return, because otherwise all I would have had is whatever my annual salary is. Okay, I'm talking about a 20K portfolio, but lots of people have 100K portfolio and beyond. And so, you understand the game, you understand how to have write-offs, and there's a lot to the financial game. Is understanding, building your financial knowledge is not just about the money you make in your stock market and your portfolio and your trades and your options and what have you. You have to learn the whole gamut. If you learn the whole gamut, then you could greatly grow your wealth. Okay, let's see. I met a young man on this week, and he was telling me that he's a recovering substance abuser, and he was saying all of the different rehabs he's been to. It was up in the teens, right? Low to mid-teens, and I was saying, well, I'm glad you're still here. You know, it's not about discouraging a person because we all have our burdens to bear in this life, our crosses to bear, right? But the thing is, hopefully, we learn from our experiences and we can become a better person because of the things that we learn, because of the things that we have gone through, right? So he went on to say that excuse me, that he can't go too long without taking advantage of some of the substance abuse or he'll feel suicidal, right? Well, this is Sunday, and if you're going to ever talk about inspiration, Sunday would be the day to do it, right? Right. So from time to time, I try to share words of encouragement. And so I was saying I could understand that. And he said, but I really would love to develop a relationship. Well, my apologies. I'm gonna have to kind of conclude this. That thought I would have to finish another day because as I see, when the alarm went off and I ended it, cut the alarm off, it cut the video off, and now I got to go in and splice this thing together just to conclude it out because can't just close it like that. So I'm not gonna go and do a lot of editing. I'm just gonna splice it together and conclude it from here. Hopefully everyone enjoy the rest of their weekend, the close out of our weekend, and prepare for the upcoming week. Some great folks to chime into on follow on YouTube to help you prepare for the upcoming week. Larry Jones, Stocks with Josh, Keenan Grace, Stock Mo, Dale Curry, Wall Street Trapper, and Chris Sane. They say a lot of helpful things to prepare you for the week. They make recommendations of some things to be on the lookout for in the upcoming week on the market based on financial news, based on political news, and all these things can help you out in your financial journey, in the positioning of your portfolios, in the choices that you make on with stock and with crypto, right? It's good to be aware of these things because these things can help you. These things can help you really. There's this thing called buying the dip and selling the rip. The dip is when it dropped. The rip is selling it ahead of the news. You know, the news line that's coming up that can possibly cause it to. You know, you buy the dip, it runs up, and you know, in your mind's like, oh, it's gonna run higher. Well, if it's not one of your long-term holds and you've made a decent return, be happy with your decent return. Go ahead and close that out and put it in one of your long-term holds or leave it in your buying power, so you can have dry powder to take care of the next, so you can address the next opportunity that comes up in the market, because there are always opportunities in the market to make money. You can make money when the market is going up. You can make money when the market is going down. Have to learn about options, learn about swing trades, learn about different things. Anything you can learn to help build your financial knowledge is only going to help you grow your wealth. Let me say that again. Anything you can find to help grow your financial knowledge is only going to help you grow your wealth. It's only going to help you grow your portfolio. And when you watch that portfolio grow, it's like music to your ears, right? It's like if you have a companion and you love getting a nice big old warm hug from your companion, when you watch your portfolio grow, when it grows from one minute ago I was talking about, you know, it grows and in increments of tens, right? So when you can leave one increment of 10, when I say 10, I'm talking about tens of thousands, right? So if you're in tens of thousands and you go to the 20s of thousands, or if you're in 20 of thousands and you go to 30 of thousands, and so on and so on and so on. When you see your portfolio go from one increment of tens of thousands to a new increments of tens of thousands, it put a smile on your face, and it make you feel like your portfolio has given you a nice big old warm hug, right? And once it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Someone said, so when do you take money out of your portfolio? You take money out of your portfolio, in my opinion, when you need money to take care of something. If you're doing, if you're growing your financial knowledge, then you're learning how to aggressively pay down your debt. Some folks say you should pay off all your debt before you get in the market. And I understand that reasoning. But what we've had going on over the last couple of years, you have opportunities that we haven't seen in forever, because it was considered like a black swan effect. We had so many things beat down the economies worldwide. Pandemics, the pandemic, multiple wars, politicians making bad decisions, all the free money that went out to try to stimulate the economies worldwide. And those things created, if you were in a position that you could invest, then it was creating opportunities that you won't see again. So normally in the stock market, if you get a 10 or 20% return, that's a good thing. It's not a good thing when you have portfolios or positions that are under increments of tens of thousands, and 10 and 20% return is not too impressive. But when you get above that increments of 10Ks of 5K, 50K, and once you get above that 100,000, then a nice 10% pop, nice 20% pop is a nice return. But lower than that, then nothing too impressive. But what I'm saying is the opportunities we had over these past couple of years, we haven't seen these in well over a decade, and you won't see them again, because the market is never going to be beat down that low again unless you have something like a black swan effect happen again. So we're not gonna, when the market returns, 10% returns and 20% returns are not going to be the norm if you've been doing this thing over a couple of years, right? So whether you're in debt or not, if you could afford, it would be beneficial to be dollar cost average, DCA, into some positions to help set you up for your future, right? So anyway, I was saying that because in look at the S&P 500. What is up for the last 5 years? What is up for this year? It's up double digits for the last 5 years. It's up double digits for right now. It's up nicely for the week, nicely for the month, very nicely for the year. More than 10%, more than 20%. So Nvidia is up what? I think they were saying like 300% or what have you. So even more than that. The point is, whether the market whether the economy was turned around or not, the market has been doing some great things. But it's doing great things for those who are building their financial knowledge and who are being consistent. One of the things I always say, key words in investing: being consistent in investing and having patience. If you can do those two things, you will be okay. You can make money. And then when you make the money, when do you take the money? When you need the money. If you're on top of your finances, if you're aggressively paying down your debt, if you're putting portions of your money to work in every place that needs to be, then your bills are getting paid. So you don't really need the money. You need the money when you can build a life changing position, when you can build a life changing portfolio. Then you can go and liquidate some money and really turn your life around, right? Then you can go and liquidate some money and wipe out all your debt, right? Liquidate some money, pay off your house, whatever the case may be. But the money is yours, the choice is yours, it's your decision. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy here on YouTube talking about tips and benefits to better understand the market and to help you build yourself financial wealth for yourself and your family in time to come. So, as one of my friends on YouTube, Smart Money Bro, who's the best person to take care of the old you? The current you, the you of today is the best person to take care of the old you, because the old you is down the road somewhere, right? And if your current you, if the young you don't take care of the old you now, then when you get old, it's kind of hard to make your way when you're already in it. We have plenty of time now to take advantage of it. Let us redeem the time. With that being said, you guys take care, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. So until then, take care and be blessed continually, my friend.